Good evening. It's Backseat Drivers number 15, and we're just waiting for a special guest to come in, and here he is, just on time. We've got the whole crew back again tonight. We've all got special hats on. Matt's got a special hat from his holiday. Have a guess where he went.
It was Detroit, Dave. I went to Detroit. I'm going to start a new F1 team
with a Chevrolet.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Chevrolet F1 team. And we're gonna race around downtown Detroit. It's gonna be the best.
You got to wait for Toto to let you in though. Oh, I hear he's not too accommodating for those Americans wanting to join in.
He after watching Drive to Survive, I can see. He's a strange man. And I don't think the Netflix special did him any favors. Him and his to me being a bit of a Star Wars nerd, it was like Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. But Lewis Hamilton's like a little the little kid snitch at school. Oh, Dave got 2 apples when everyone was only meant to have 1 apple. Oh, quick, go tell the racer engineer that he shouldn't have 2 apples.
So Drive to Survive was good.
It was pretty good. Like, it was fun filming it, like watching it, but the whole thing just seemed to be Max versus Lewis. Obviously that's what it was. And then every so often they just cut into it like, oh yeah, by the way, there are 18 other drivers. Perhaps we should talk to them.
I think the problem last year was, though, because that's the first Drive to Survive where there's actually been a challenge.
Yeah,
Lewis has had his own way ever since they started it. So
you could tell it just because slightly knowing the story. Yeah, it looked like Toto and Lewis were sort of losing grip on just being able to say, I want to do this. Can we do this? Move out of the way. I think there was some video where where they had the double yellow flags and Max got pinged for it, and no one else saw it except for like Lewis, because he almost knew to look for it, and he's like, "See that video? I think
which race
there was
that
one.
at?
It was probably mid-season where he's sitting at one of the I assume McLaren video nerds, and he's looking at it and he just starts yelling at the screen like, oh look, there's 2 flags, and they asked him
in qualifying or something, wasn't it?
I can't remember. That's right, it was a qualifying because he lost spots. Because
his lap got disallowed somewhere.
Red Bull always lost spots and stuff, and then Mercedes sort of just got you crashed into someone, you silly duffer, don't do that again, And then Toto would be like, haha, yes, my plan works. But as we all know the ending, just watching the ending was so satisfying because it pretty much, it just shows a deflated Toto at the end.
I don't think I actually watched the last episode.
It's probably the greatest because essentially, if you didn't know what was going to happen, it would be even more satisfying just because you watched the whole thing, and Toto and it's like those movies. How do they keep getting away with it? And then at the end, what's the ex race director called again?
Michael Massey.
Michael,
essentially it's him just completely flatline him, just going, no, this is what's happened, and Toto just cracking it. I think he says something like, we need to re-race the last lap, and then Max just says the great line, no, it's racing, and it's essentially that's it, we're done. No more. If he could drop his microphone, he would have, and just walked away and went, I'm done here, let's go home.
Was Massey ex-V8 Supercars?
Yeah, so he was under Tim Schenken for a long time, which he was essentially going to step up and take Tim Schenken's shoes, but then the whole thing happened with Charlie Whiting passing away, and
maybe he can move to Formula E and try and make it exciting.
Well, I want him back in supercars.
Okay.
So I think Michael Massey did a very good job. And as you can see, they've replaced him with 2 people and a team back at base.
Yeah, and they're still having issues.
Yeah, that's it. You're not getting consistency
They've replaced
this
him
year.
with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
So they've got an alternating. So they have a race director at each round, but it alternates between 2 guys so that they're not essentially overworked. But they also then have a team, they don't say how many, but working back at the FIA base in France, I think it is, that are watching everything during the weekend so that it's not and feeding information back.
And it's
a bit like what the teams do.
So it's essentially, I don't know if anyone else follows, but like English Premier League have VAR and AFL have the the ARC or whatever they call it now, where it's essentially after anything they're like, oh, send it up to the cameraman, and then
you're not allowed to make a decision and stick by it anymore. You got to have a team of people to analyze everything. And
well, at least F1 carries on with the race. Like a lot of sports that use it will stop the event and be like, hey, Dave, what do you think? You know, it looks like Hamilton's, left wing touched, Max's tyre. Let's go, check with Fudley and see what he thinks. And then you'll sit there and go, well, if you have a look at the tyre, it was spinning and it was his drive line. And the whole race would have had to stop for 20 minutes as they sat and talked about, tiny things. Yeah. At least they keep going and they just note it and, carry on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every other sport will stop. They'll show it up on a big screen. People will get angry when they show it because everyone interprets it differently.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to stop a stick and ball sport though compared to a motorsport. And then if you do stop it, you've got the issues like with the safety car and virtual safety car and all that bullshit that everyone now complains about because it's not fair because people get a better pit stop and all that kind of junk.
But isn't that, from what I've been watching now a lot more, was the you almost, a lot of races wait for like a safety car to do a pit stop.
Yeah, if you could say like Albon in Melbourne where you could run the hard tyre the whole race. Yeah.
Yeah.
People have used that quite successfully.
The only problem is doesn't seem to be any safety cars at any of the races you expect to have safety cars, like Baku and Monza. Oh, sorry, not Monza, Monaco. Like the race be crashes constantly. There's just been no crashes.
Although we did end up with a couple in Canada.
Yeah,
which was quite expected. Yeah, so that was speaking of Canada.
Yeah,
what happened in Canada, Dave?
Wasn't a bad race. Perez broke down. Leclerc broke down. Sainz wasn't fast enough to beat Verstappen.
Yeah, and Latifi.
Hamilton's.
Latifi,
the undrivable car that came third.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the car that no one can drive? It's like a wild stallion. Only the select few have a connection with it.
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth. Yep.
I suspect there's probably 14 other drivers on the grid that would be more than happy to drive it for Hamilton.
I think a lot of people would be happy to drive the go fast win car.
I think the only people who wouldn't choose their current car over the Mercedes would be Red Bull and Ferrari drivers.
They'd be very happy with their cars.
Are you in black and white, Rob, or is that just?
I think it's for
the filter or
dramatic effect. I think he's got big news coming, and he wants to build it up. Oh,
there we go. You do actually have colour in your face. I think I like the black and white look.
Yeah, it looks classier. Yeah. You look like the elder who runs this show. You look like race control.
Maybe I need that because there's too much red, I think, coming off this hat.
I'm way
make
too
the rest
pale
of my face look.
Yeah.
You've just been in bloody sunny Hawaii and you're still a moon man.
Yeah, I'm still, because I burnt my shoulders. My shoulders right now are in a lot of pain because every time I go to a place that has sun, I get slightly arrogant that I think I'm not going to burn. I'm wearing sunscreen. and then an hour later, I burned myself, and I regret everything.
Well,
as a
I've got
redhead,
plenty.
Dave's a redhead as well.
Yes.
Long sleeves, sensible hat.
Yep, I had all of that, and an umbrella. I lived under an umbrella most of the time, and I've been burnt inside a car, Rob. So I'm not safe.
Yeah, so my man Latifi has continued his record of never actually finishing last in a race.
Mr. 16th.
Yeah, is that just saying he doesn't come last, he comes second last, or he just waits for other people to retire?
Second last.
Yeah. Is that actual last though, or is that retirements behind him?
Probably retirement's behind him, but
yeah.
I mean, it still counts. He's not wrong. He beat.
Yeah, he was last on the road this weekend, wasn't he?
No, he was 16. He
but
beat
didn't we
Kevin.
Yeah, he beat Magnussen.
Oh, did Kev finish? Okay.
Yeah.
After he did his bit of a... What did you think of the move with Hamilton on the first lap with Magnussen? If it was me, I would have gone for it. If I was in Magnussen's position, I would have gone for it. But it was a very low percentage move that he wasn't going to hold on to.
Yeah. But I feel like anyone who does any kind of move next to Hamilton like that
cops a
little touch.
It is funny though how many times when he's being overtaken or how many times does he get involved? He'd have to be up there with Stroll.
Yeah.
With getting involved in incidents with people overtaking him.
Well, Dave, in Drive to Survive, Hamilton likes to talk about how clean his driving is and how Max is a crazy man. Yeah, no, that's what it's like. They literally put it on. They go, "Oh, I'm the cleanest driver on the circuit," and then they cut to him flying through the air, you know, Elton John Rocket Man style, and then go, you know, I drive sensibly. Max is a maniac, and then they cut to Max playing Pin the Tail on the Donkey or something, just going, "Yeah, I'm just here for a drive."
Yeah.
But how many times, though, like last year with Hamilton and Max crashed into each other, and then Leclerc and Max this year, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been able to race side by side and not an issue.
Yeah. And it used to, like Hamilton and Maldonado, whenever they got near each other on the track, it was awesome. There was that year where he took out Massa about 16 times.
Yeah.
There we go for the Latifi fan out there.
Yes, he will. We need one villain. Who's going to replace everyone's second favorite Canadian?
I believe Latifi is moving to Mercedes.
Everyone's second favorite Australian will be.
Oh yeah,
in that seat next year.
Well, I think there'll only be one Australian in a seat next year, maybe because.
Maybe.
Or you still reckon he's going to be there next year?
Early two.
I would like him to be. Because I think even in that Drive to Survive, he comes off as everyone seems to love Dan. He's just, you know,
everyone loves him.
He doesn't do anything like at least with Hamilton, he's whinging about stuff. Dan just gets annoyed. You know, he'll tell people, "Oh, I had a shit race. That was on me." Whereas, you know, someone else will be like, "Oh, it was Rob's fault. Rob did something. I don't know how, but Rob ruined my drive."
He's on the other side of the track when it happened, but
Rob wasn't even at the track, but Rob ruined my race.
Yeah.
Cancel Rob.
So I hear Latifi might be moving to Mercedes to replace Hamilton.
That's
you nearly kept a straight face on that one.
I know.
It's a good swap, and then Hamilton can go into race control.
Oh God, could you imagine?
I would love to see Hamilton in race control because he would he'd either just be a militant dictator or he would be very understanding. He goes, "Now Latifi, I understand what's happened here, but you got to remember that he had the driving line, and you're an idiot. So you just need to." And also, you took my seat, so I do not care about what you have to do. I also would like to see him stand up to Toto. I feel like he wants to.
Sorry.
He wants to be a big boy, and you know, because it was times where he just he would complain about something, and then Toto would complain about something, and they sort of like storm off together. You've got to toe the
company line.
Yeah. But more so, it looked like that more so in Mercedes with Red Bull with Mr. Ginger Spice. He seemed to he did seem to protect his team a lot more. He seemed to get into a lot more fights, putting up, and I think that's what you have to do. I think he stood up for Red Bull a fair amount, whereas Toto just sort of, I think, goes by his name. He's like, we've won 7 in a row.
I think because Toto's also a third owner of it.
Yeah, he is too.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I think also because the Mercedes culture at the moment, they don't understand what losing is.
Yes, that's
because they haven't had
it
competition. Yeah, that's it. So, and you would have essentially a generation there that we go to the track and we win every weekend.
Yeah,
it's turn up, win, and no one competes with us, no one challenges us. And if I drive, like I have my own racing line, and it's essentially it's my red carpet VIP line. I'm going to be driving here, and then you got Max, who's like, no, out of my way. Beep beep. You know, I wish I had a horn because I'd let you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And the thing that annoys me is Hamilton is like every time they had a close like race or whatever, Hamilton would make it sound like, Mercedes sort of are the FIA. Like everything they do, it's like, well, no, we've won constructors. We are essentially the de facto standard. Yeah, like Ferrari in the early 2000s.
Should be MIA now, not FIA.
It's sort of like that in world cricket. India essentially run, because they're the biggest. They run the ICC. That's right. Cricket? They won 8. Cricket's another sport, Dave. It's
okay.
It's don't worry about it.
Okay.
Bunch of guys.
It's another ball and stick sport. You wouldn't care about it.
It's a bit like golf, is it?
It moves slightly faster than golf, but not by much.
Okay.
This video could be about golf, backseat drivers.
Oh yeah, we could go around a little golf cart.
we just do this.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
He's broken the chair.
He's broken the studio. I was going to ask Dave, in the Drive to Survive, they've obviously the only 2 things they care about is the constructors and the drivers' championship. To Mercedes, it seemed that the constructors was sort of their more, because it's a team effort. The constructor was held in higher regard.
Yeah.
Constructors is all they really care about. Drivers is for the drivers.
For the driver, yeah.
But I think there's a bit of an attitude difference between, like Red Bull is probably more interested in winning the drivers' championship bonus if we get the constructors, whereas Mercedes is a bit more, we're a team.
They also get a lot more money if they win the constructors.
Yep. Well, they were saying that if you the smaller teams were saying, like, if we get points on the board, it's the difference between no money and a couple of $1 million.
It's not as bad as what it once was, since there's only the 10 teams now, but it used to, when there was more than 10, only the top 10 got paid out.
Yeah.
So some of the battles or the joy or whatever, if you got that 1 point and you were going to finish 10th in the championship instead of 11th, was massive.
Well, that was the other thing I saw in the Drive to Survive was old oligarch money with what's his name? That was actually pretty interesting to see now that obviously he's no longer there and they're having issues, and what's his face is suing Haas for not, because essentially I think that what's happened is because anyone that was Russian that had money got booted out of sports. And then obviously once Dad leaves, there's no reason to keep you, because in the Drive to Survive, the dad pretty much said, give my son a better car, or I'm just pulling out all my money and we're leaving.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a bit more to it, but Netflix made it sound
Probably
way more exciting.
Probably doesn't help that his daddy's money is worth nothing now over in Russia.
Yeah. But he's suing the team because supposedly they've voided his contract. But I imagine cleverer lawyers have pretty much said, well,
there's got to be a performance
dad's money's no good. Yeah.
I wonder about the contract, because the contract, if he's suing, and if he's genuine about the suing, the contract must have been with the team and not dependent on them getting that money from daddy.
Yeah.
But from the sound of it, he's only there because of dad, and they would have been like
100%.
You're, like Stoll's not there because he's a talented driver. It's the same reason why I'd become an F1 driver, because my family suddenly fell into $4 billion, and I now have Matt F1, and Dave, you're our chief engineer, and Rob's my second driver. Yes. Also, I get the best car, and if Rob starts beating me, well, that's when I get angry and I threaten to kick Rob out because he's not a team player.
I'm going to Williams then.
Well, I see you're playing hardball, Rob.
I'm really disappointed, but Williams is probably one of my favourite looking cars on the grid. I like the colour scheme. I like the shape of the car.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty. I wish they would lean into the whole Duracell advertising and do like a full black and copper livery. I reckon it could actually be an iconic livery if they did it right. Like something you'd remember for years if they went for the whole black and copper look.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah. At the moment, all they've got is like the intake is black and copper, which is all right. But yeah, if they went the whole thing, it would look cool, I reckon.
Lean into it.
Yeah. Get their own style going.
Can you change liveries whenever you like, or is it like engines?
No, if you change it drastically, like say when Red Bull did that Honda livery, or Mercedes did the 100-year livery or whatever, you actually have to apply with the FIA that you're doing a significant change to the livery.
You have to apply
and they have to. Yeah, and they have to approve it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years ago, you weren't allowed to change the helmet design at all, and now they're having every race.
Yeah, now you can just change it every race, can't you? Because what was it? Miami had Nando.
That was
the basketball.
They cracked the sads though, because Seb was changing his every race.
I think Seb
and they said, well, it started off with Seb kind of when he was winning his championships, and they were complaining, you can't tell who's driving the car, and you're like, you can't see the helmet anyway. And all the fucking Red Bull helmets look exactly the same because you have to have the Red Bull logos all over them. But then I think they slackened off a bit again with the halo coming in, because you really can't see the helmets now. So
that was the other interesting thing, Dave, in that Drive to Survive. When in the crash that I think when Max went straight over Hamilton's car, and then they had a look. They took it back to the engineering and had a look at it. The engineer pretty much said, if it wasn't for the halo, we'd be having a different conversation. No. And then he goes, it's lucky we had it. He goes, all those people that complained about it. And then Toto said, I was one of those people that complained. I guess I'll keep quiet now. Something to that. Like he pretty much said, I'm glad I lost that argument.
I wonder though, with that accident, whether that would have actually, like, it probably would have hit his head, but whether it wouldn't have been a fatal. I wouldn't have thought.
But I think you'd rather have a I think now, I think a lot. Even I think when you were first showing me the Halo, I think a lot of people just went, "This looks stupid." Yeah. This will never work, and these are not going to be my final stupid words. And then I think. It's done its job.
Yeah. I was against it when it came out, and now I'm like, great idea, best thing ever. Yeah.
Well, not the best thing ever, but
not the best thing. probably the best thing for a few people.
The best thing ever is
Yeah.
that what was the car, Dave, that put the side skirts on to give it better? They got banned after like two.
The
No,
Lotus.
the side
So-
skirts lasted quite a while. Yeah,
The side skirts or six wheels.
the fan car was probably
Fan
big
car was
one.
pretty good, and six wheels.
The Lotus 79T, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or 78T. The
Yes,
size scale.
Graham. I watched all of Drive to Survive on the plane ride home because I cleverly downloaded every episode and plowed
that's
through
pretty
something
fun.
like 7 hours of Drive to Survive on a 10-hour flight.
So now you know what Formula One is.
Formula One is Lewis Hamilton complaining because he's not used to losing. Toto saying that he is a sophisticated man and better than everybody. A lot of footage of Mr. Ginger Spice at his country estate with
Does
Mrs.
Jerry get on there?
She's on there a little bit, and
Oh,
it
good.
sounds like she understands a fair bit. And they've brainwashed their kids already. So every time he's talking to his kids, he's like, "Now, who do you want to win?" He goes, "Max." "And who do we want to lose?" "I want Lewis to crash." We're like, "No. We just don't
Everybody
want him to
but
win."
Max.
Yeah. But essentially, it's those two they film at home, and then there's a bit of actually it was pretty funny the Yuki episode because he just sounds like a kid that's in the F1 because he's really really good at Gran Turismo because when they talk to him they're like, "You got to do training and stuff." He's like, "Nah, I'm not doing anything." And then they ship him over to Italy because I think the team principal just says, "Look, you're a little shit. You need to do work." And he's like, "I'm not going to train. Training sucks." And then they give him this like fitness instructor who's like, "Let's go run up a hill." And he's like, "No, I hate doing this because it makes me hurt." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's good exercise." But then at the end, he's like, "I had a realization. Yeah, this training is good. It makes me a better driver." And then it cuts to him like swearing at his team. I think a lot of them are like, quite subtle, like, "Dave, the tires are a bit, I'm losing traction here." He'll just yell out, "Oh, my car's shit. You guys are shit." Which is a bit rich for a guy who's not really done anything in F1.
No, and his F2 career is a little ordinary.
He's done it better than a few other imports. Like,
Oh no, but I'm just thinking,
Schumacher.
like, if you're at the bottom of the F1 thing, I don't think you kind of have the authority to yell at your race engineer that the car setup you've given me is less than ideal.
Yeah.
Like especially if you've only been there a year or two, you should just like politely come back and go, "Hey Dave, I need some brakes at the front," or "I noticed it understeering," not yelling out, "I hate you all."
That was his rookie year last year as well.
Yes.
So
yeah,
he came
that's right.
out, fairly all guns
but
blazing.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when you come to get into F1, you've usually got to be the best at whatever you left at, weren't you? Like
which he was. What was he, fourth or something in F2 the year before?
Yeah, around there, I think.
he did, but he did quite
Fact
well.
checker.
Yeah,
I've got Buffy checking the facts.
we'll on to it. Here we go, Yuki. This is why I've got two screens now. I'm professional at the new studio.
I can't concentrate on two screens at the same time.
He finished first in F4, but 2021, 2020, he finished third.
It was third, was it? Who finished in front of him?
Let's find out. Thanks, Wikipedia.
I think I've looked up the wrong Yuki.
Mick. It's Mick Schumacher.
I think I've looked up the wrong Yuki because the one I'm looking up is a art director on anime.
Oh man, it could be.
Yep,
actually,
I think that's possibly the wrong one.
Yeah,
just look up 2020 F2 season.
Who's Callum Lott, Dave? He
Callum Lott. He's in IndyCar at the moment.
Oh, so he has gone somewhere, but he's just not in F1.
I like Callum. I think he crashed in qualifying last race, and they interviewed him, asked him what happened. He's like, "I think I just gave it too much." Like, no excuse.
That's how Yuki answered as well. He's like, "I'm a bit aggressive in some of the turns."
Yeah,
which I much prefer the honesty like that, rather than the bullshit some of them come out with.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people like Dan as well, because when they interview him, he's like, "What happened? I crashed. What happened? Oh no, I zigged when I should have zagged. You know,
Car went boom.
Yeah." Whereas a lot of the other ones will just make up excuses that
The defibrillator broke and
the oscillator to the defibrillator's playing up and it's not giving me maximum velocity for the straight line, connection.
Speaking of Formula 2,
everyone's second favorite formula.
Anyone played Call of Duty lately?
What did he say?
I was playing, Rob, and then someone yelled at me.
He said the N word and then called someone gay for wearing pink or something.
Oh well, then
okay, yeah. So because I was a bit like some of the stuff when I was that kind of age playing video games, like the language would be colourful.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it was describing your family members and what they'd done to you. And it turns out that was all lies because I went and checked and my mum was asleep at the time, so none of that behaviour could have been happening. I don't understand. She was asleep.
I can understand if he's said that he's in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble, Dave.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying because I actually really like Yuri Vips. I thought he had a future in front of him, and
nope.
Yeah, nope.
Well, who's now, because they've got Duravala on the Red Bull program.
Yeah. Is Lawson still on Red Bull, or is he Liam Lawson?
Yeah, Liam Lawson's still with Red Bull, I'm pretty sure.
Dave, I think Lee's trying to tell you need to get more people. You need to get big enough that you can just start yelling abuse and get cancelled.
Yeah, but I don't live stream video game playing because no one wants to watch. Well, if anyone wants me to live stream playing solitaire, let me know and I'll see if I can organise it.
Well, Dave, I tell you what I found in storage: my PlayStation 3 with Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and my projector. So maybe soon we have a some sort of race.
I'm no good on a controller though.
Oh no, that's why you're having a controller, Dave, just to even out the playing field. There's no steering wheel. No, Rob. We're not letting Dave have any advantage here.
I've had Dave drive me around before. I know what he's like in the car.
And I think I ordered.
He was 19.
I'm a bit slower these days.
Yeah, same. Oh,
the car's twice as fast and 10 times safer, but drive around at half the speed.
I did have 2 drag races on my way home tonight, but I do generally drive slower.
But Rob, did they know you were in a drag race, or was it just you in the drag race?
Oh, there was both times an SUV, so
that's not really a drag race, Rob. That's
no, it was an embarrassment for him.
That's more like a confidence booster for you, just to make yourself feel better.
I'm a real man.
Yeah,
my hatchback's a real car.
I use like half a quarter of a throttle to beat him.
So Rob, you went home and went, I'm a real man now. Time
to jump. Man.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a big boy.
Is it the Jeep and the SUV? I thought a Jeep was in its class of its own, Dave.
I still consider Jeeps somewhat four-wheel drives. Like they actually have a four-wheel drive system. They're not just front-wheel drive giant hatchbacks.
Depending on the Jeep.
Yeah, I drove a gutless one in Hawaii, Rob, and for someone who's driven the total combined power of about 100 kilowatts, this car felt slow to me.
Yeah,
I would put the accelerator down, and it felt like I had to send a request to Australia Post, and it would come back and say, "All right, let's go," and then it would sort of splutter up the hill in its 4-cylinder go-kart engine.
I went for a 4-hour drive with a friend in his Patrol, I think it was, with a diesel, like a 80s Patrol.
Just a warning: don't get Patrol and Land Cruiser and that mixed up.
No,
because my God, you never hear the end of it. If you call a Land Cruiser a Patrol, fuck.
Even though they're pretty much just a big box. But yeah, we'd go to overtake a car. He would have to line it up, start getting a bit of a run up for about 5Ks beforehand. And then we'd just sit on the opposite side, on the other side of the road, next to the car for about 8Ks while we slowly drive past it. This thing accelerates. I'm like, how do you live with this? This is scary. Like, I feel like I'm going to die any time now.
Just while we've kind of gone off track and talking about cars, I saw one of those whatever SRT Jeep fucking jacked up wagon supercharged whatever things tonight. In the front grille, it had an SRT badge that was like flashing green, red, blue.
I think that's known as aftermarket, Dave.
I was going to say, is that a factory thing, or has someone actually paid money for that ridiculousness?
I think it's called AliExpress, and you type in car aftermarket.
You came to Auto Salon with us.
Well, that's kind of what it. It was like being back at the Auto Salon days. Yeah. But I thought, how would you get away with that? Because it actually had like red and blue.
Oh.
It was flicking between,
you can't have red and blue, can you?
It was like lighting up for say 2 seconds on all these different colours. I was like, how are they getting away with that? But
I think they're getting away with it until one day a cop, what were they? The compliance cops? Remember those that would like check
Perotti, whatever his name is. Who's that?
They would check. I remember they would check your car. They would check your car for roadworthiness, and there was one that I remember got caught with his handbrake didn't click enough, and the cop said to him, "I can either get you for this, or I can keep looking." And he pretty much said, "Oh, just take me for this then, and I'll be on my way."
That was the thing. If you're going to get done, you wanted to get done for like wash a bottle not being full enough or whatever. Yeah, clicks on the handbrake and like
I don't know if I know Boovy will remember this. There is a delicious kebabery on corner of Bell Street and St George's Road.
Haji's Kebab.
Haji's Kebabs.
Yep.
Rob, you are a man of taste. Friday and Saturday night was watching cars pull out of McDonald's, take off with their blue and red lights. Then a cop would come out of nowhere. He'd pull him over at the NMIT just up the street, and then you would walk up with your kebab and the 30 other Middle Eastern men that you were with, and you'd watch this poor idiot get done for speeding, for red light, compliance infractions. And I think the fine wasn't the bit that hurt. It was just watching 30 people have a front row seat for you getting done for the tiniest of things.
I actually lost my license up the road from there on the way to Mean Dave's friends' birthday parties. Broomies. Broomies.
Oh,
I was in a Seat Cordoba racing a Daewoo.
Wait, which one were you driving? Because neither one of them is a good answer.
The Seat Cordoba.
I don't even know what they're words that I've heard of, but I've never.
I remember that now.
Oh, Rob, I've just looked that up, and that is I've driven embarrassing cars, but you've now gone down. I thought driving a Hyundai Excel was bad, but you've found a new basement.
I actually really liked it. It was a nice car. It was they gave them away on the Price is Right, I think.
Of course they did, Rob, because that's the only
translation they couldn't sell them.
And say it's coming back shortly as the Cupra brand, their sporty brand.
What are extra, Graham? What are extra stays for the floor?
So because they don't have side pods, so the floor's just flapping in the wind. They've got those like spokey dokes that run.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from the where there is actually body work across to hold the floor up.
What Rice's use to hold their front splitters on?
Yeah, why haven't they done pods?
Yeah.
I would have thought by now they would have thought pods work.
I think that
I know pods work.
if they can make this work,
Yeah.
they have a lot more potential out of it. So I'd say some of the others are probably looking into it, how to do it. But yeah, I think the amount of extra downforce that they will have when they get it to work, it's probably worth continuing with it. So especially considering this year's nearly right up, like they pretty much can't win the championship anyway. So,
well, I was going to say, if they can get this to work, do you think Hamilton will stay on for another year if this works for next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants his next title. I think he's.
But no one else wants it. No one else wants him to have it, Rob.
No, I don't think he'll get it. I think he's gone past his prime. I think he's too old. He'll just drive around the back like Raikkonen did for the last 30 years.
I would love to see.
He might not be that bad, but
no.
I want him to get to the age where he drives around and goes, "Just remember, I'm a 7-time world champion," and everyone goes, "Yep, that's cool." Anyway,
so
you came
Schumacher.
Yeah, and he's slightly more respected than you.
You're not the only one.
Yeah,
I think once you come off your peak, you should get kicked out of the sport. So you don't have the Raikkonens, the Vettels.
It's fun having Alonso in the series, though.
No, Alonso's cool. Everyone likes him.
I actually love Vettel. I like him being in the sport. I think he's.
I like Vettel now. I didn't like him before. I think
no one liked him before.
I think he's better when they're just old men, like him and Alonso can sort of just sit back and be like, when I was 10.
They need a Masters series. Have a Formula 2. Have Formula 2 for.
Don't they have Formula E?
No, Formula Legends. Old people.
Just like maybe use old F1. No, even then, like maybe F2 cars. Just F2 cars, but a Masters series, and just all the old drivers racing against each other.
I think they tried to do something like that years ago.
Yeah, I think they did.
Failed because you had guys like Nigel Mansell racing guys like Jack Villeneuve or whatever. That, although they're probably not, but like there was a fair discrepancy in kind of ages. Like it had a few guys that were like 60 and a few guys that were like 32 or whatever.
Yeah. I was almost tempted to buy Jacques Villeneuve CD today.
Somehow I dream or something like that, isn't it?
Something like that.
Something
there was
really
only 800 copies actually got sold originally, and I found a mint copy that's going to cost me $33 delivered from.
That's $33 too much, Rob. I'm just letting you know now.
I know, but
I don't think it's kind of a listening thing, is it? It's just a kind of.
It's just to say you have it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
I just want to. I want. I'm hoping Latifi brings out an album as well of him singing.
I think his CD is going to be called "No, Mr. Bond, I Expect You to Die," and it's just a picture of him and a cat.
Yeah. Well, Villeneuve was doing interviews after the race. So
I don't know why they keep dragging him back out. He's. Why do we have to keep listening to him?
Well, because we've got to listen to the others.
They can't all be what's his name, Brundle, all the time.
Yeah,
with the Brundle, you got to have the others.
The others,
but there's Brundle and then there's Villeneuve, like.
Yeah, but Dave, you can't always have the good things. Actually, that's what I just realized. In a couple of years, I'd like to see Ricardo be the guy that walks around interviewing people, because he'll be more unhinged knowing that he doesn't actually have to do anything. I reckon just get him with a 6-pack at the Australian GP, him walking around with a slab of like Fosters,
just going for cock slaps.
Yeah.
As he's interviewing, microphone in one hand, bang.
But an actual microphone. So when he says what's his name, does the Gasly introduction, he's at least got a microphone to run into it with. And then anyone that's not driving, just have beers with them. Just beers with Dan. It'll be a new segment.
Chewies with people.
Chewies with Dan. Yeah, he walks around with a couple of shoes.
He's got like classy shoes he's drinking out of.
Speaking of the shoes, I saw the glass shoe at the Sydney International Airport. They have one of his glass shoeies for $950.
Not buying that.
And
Better value than a Jack Villeneuve CD.
yeah, I was
I'd
told
buy
that
some.
it's a bit too much, and let's not waste all our holiday budget on a glass shoe.
I buy some stupid shit, and it was only a couple of days ago that one of my friends said my estate sale is going to be amazing after I die, just because of the random shit I buy. I'm not going to buy one of these shoes, these glass shoes.
It looked quite nice, but
I went to buy one. I went to buy one of the bottles of wine until I saw the price. And I went,
that's $150, I think.
Yeah,
I think Boovie will know because I asked him.
I spent $90 on one bottle of beer this week, but I'm not spending that on a bottle of wine.
Sorry, what was that?
A bottle of beer.
How much for a bottle of beer?
How much?
$80, $85.
Was it laced with gold?
How big was this bottle of beer?
Like, was it a Darwin stubby of like 1.5 liters? What are you?
We refer to them as slabs.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, Rob, I'll be honest with you. This beer was been in the fridge, and I don't even know where it was. I just took it.
This beer is water.
That's another beer. It was 750 ml.
Okay.
It's only 12% alcohol.
So you drank the whole thing in one sitting, is what you're saying?
I may. I
And then you had $80 regret because you could have bought 4 CDs.
Exactly.
You know what you could have bought as well? You could have bought Bruce Willis's CD. You could have bought.
Wait. Does Bruce Willis have a CD?
Bruce Willis has 2 or 3 CDs, Dave.
I can
We've just blown Dave's mind.
I can buy Keanu Reeves.
I thought this, cricket thing was the most surprising thing I was going to hear all night. But Bruce Willis has an album.
Bruce Willis has multiple albums, I believe. He is $70 for the Dan wine. Okay, so
that's that's
right.
not bad for if it's a good red. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if my sophisticated palate's quite ready for.
Yeah, I've been
good red wine anymore.
The good red wine. I get Dave when we have fancy drinks. I get Pepsi Max. So when we bought the house, I wasn't allowed to drink the champagne because it was
no.
it would have been wasted on me. Yeah, that's the problem, Graham. It's a fancy shoe, and I would get if I had one, I would literally get everyone to drink out of it. And you just know that one of your mates is going to drop it and go, well, there's $950 down the drain.
I'd be out trying to get people to put their feet in it.
I mean, Dan's what's
I watched the movie. He's short, isn't he? He looks like he's going to be tall, but he's about 4 foot.
He's 5'9". He's 5'9" and weighs 59 kilos.
So that's not a bad height.
I'm pretty sure I put on
giants
over lockdown.
He's got shoe size 10, so you could fit a fair amount of liquid in it.
Yeah,
I reckon Boovie they can. I'm going to check AliExpress later, and I'm going to find a cheap knockoff
version. Yeah,
I'm going to find a knockoff, and then hopefully I can drink one on this show.
No. Wait, we need to get one each, and then when we do the e-scooter showdown, after each lap you have to scull a shoey.
So winner gets a shoey, is what you're saying. We're racing for shoeys.
No, I reckon each lap you have to drink a shoey.
Just regardless, we're all just drinking shoeys.
Just each lap drink a shoey. Lap shoey. 10 laps. I hope they're small. AliExpress.
The shoeys or the laps?
The shoeys. We get them off wish.com, they'll hold like 20 mil. They'll be like tiny.
It'll be a thimble.
Yeah. It'll be a shot. All right. Next on the notes.
We'll go back to talking about Formula One.
Are we following these notes? Are we?
Gasly's been confirmed for another year.
Yes.
That's good.
I'm not surprised about that because where else is he going to go and who else are they going to get to replace him?
Yeah. He's too good for him to lose. And everywhere else is shit for him to go.
Yeah.
It's either Mercedes, he's not going to Red Bull.
No.
And
I
Mercedes
think
won't
Red
take
Bull,
him.
Red Bull are pretty happy with their setup, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have signed up Perez very early in the year for them.
Yeah.
It's very early to confirm the second driver.
Well, didn't Perez get signed up? It was sort of locked in last year.
No, I think it was late-ish last year they confirmed him for this year.
Ah,
Yeah.
And the previous year it was in like December or something.
Yeah.
Because Perez was out of a drive.
okay.
Because Papa Stroll decided he wanted Seb as his new son, not Perez.
You are no longer my son.
Is Stroll confirmed for next year yet? Or is it still?
Yes.
You sure? It was
Daddy, can I have a seat? Yes, son.
Yeah,
that's why I bought this Formula One team.
Yeah, it's why we're waiting for you, Rob, to buy an F1 team and put your favourite sons, me and Dave, as drivers.
I could probably get away with Dave as my son with a red.
I'm your adopted 6 foot son.
Illegitimate.
You got the height, so
I don't think I'd fit into a car, to be honest. And Graham, to answer your question, I was just in Hawaii. I didn't go to the States. We booked a week in Hawaii. Yeah, it was close enough to America as I think I needed to be.
It's like going to America but without getting shot.
Yeah, it's a nice place. It doesn't seem like it seems like America light.
Yeah,
it's like it's an island, so not all the Americans can get there. and especially after lockdown and stuff, there were very little people there.
It's too hard to get a trailer there.
Yes. That being said, I think I saw one Ferrari, a Lamborghini, and a GT3, and then the rest of it was pickups and Jeeps.
I saw the new Corvette a couple of days ago.
Oh, they did. They had a couple of Corvettes there too. I didn't really count them as supercars because it's a Corvette.
I would have one of the new ones.
I haven't seen one in person yet, but yeah,
it is very pretty. It was the first one I've seen in person, and I think it is even better looking than photos.
Dave, you need to highlight the Homer's the coach of Bart's football team. That's pretty much that is on the money. Yes, Graham, I did. I stayed in Waikiki.
Back on the Formula One talk. How serious did they want Pierre though? That's because I don't think he would do any better than Dan.
No, I don't think he would either. He's not.
I kind of want Dan to retire. I just.
You reckon he'll go out on his own terms?
I don't think he's going to do anything. I think he's just going to flounder around for the next couple of years, not achieve anything. Everyone's going to be disappointed because he's not going to win.
But I think
he's retired now and
I think everyone liked him being there, though. I think they were saying that he's one of the. He's not like the main reason, but I think he's one of the driving reasons why.
Yeah. I think Lando's one of the big reasons a lot of people got into it. Younger people, anyway.
I think Lando and Dan together is a good. Fun, and I think a lot of people are disappointed that Lando and Dan are not like party boys each week, just doing, wild stepbrother antics.
Yeah, I feel like Lando just kind of tolerates him. That's it. Yeah.
Ooh. I think when someone else ends up in that second McLaren seat, you'll realise how good Lando is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lando is. Yeah.
I suspect if they did get Gasly, that Gasly would have got smashed.
Yeah. I think Lando is just a shit hot driver who got screwed double stacked him, and then they didn't have his tires or something.
Yeah, there was something wrong with the engine as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, they had him in the pits, and they didn't have the tires. They showed the replay, and they actually cut away from the replay before he even had the tires on the car because it was taking so long.
It was like a Dan Monaco 2015 or whatever it was. Pit stop.
The later one, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
18 was the E1, and then before that was the engine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he got a little screwed.
It wasn't a good weekend to be a McLaren fan.
Yeah.
Because even Dan just went backwards during the race as well.
Yeah.
Because the qualifying, I can't remember now whether did he have a good start or something, and then he went backwards.
I think he went backwards.
Dan
Qualifying,
was
the top 5 cars in qualifying were 5 different cars.
They were too. Yeah. Red Bull, Renault, Ferrari, Mercedes, and then Haas Ferrari.
Yeah. That was amazing to see, like 5 complete different cars.
Yeah,
in the top
especially
5.
in this day and age.
Yeah.
It's
I was disappointed it wasn't a wet race. It would have made it a lot more interesting.
would have been very interesting. Yeah.
It can't rain all the time.
Jacques could have stood on the side of the track with a hose.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have helped or hindered Latifi?
Helped, as long as Stroll didn't try and overtake him.
I would have figured Latifi needs perfect conditions, and even then he should be riding in wets just to get that extra grip.
No other cars around him.
Yeah, he should have like the cheat mode on where it's like collision. What is it? Collision mode off. There's no collision. You can just
no damage.
No damage. Simulation mode off.
Stroll driving into Latifi in Melbourne was like Hamilton taking Verstappen off at Copse Corner last year at Silverstone. I have that much of a grudge against Stroll.
I don't get how you can love one Canadian billionaire so much and not the other.
I don't know.
They're interchangeable,
There's only room for one. There's only room for one in Rob's heart, and he's made his mind up, and that's it.
I just don't like Stroll's hairline. It's just too
the
much
hairline.
going on. Yeah.
You would think, though, with all the money that they have, they could go to like a hairdresser and not say, "I would like the 3-year-old child cut." Please.
Yeah.
Can I have the bowl cut, please? Put them all on my head and then trim around.
I think that was Alonso pumping that up a lot.
Have you seen the NFL owner Mark Davis?
No.
The Las Vegas Raiders owner. The guy gets this horrible, like, straight across hair.
He's got like the weird 80s. It looks like he let his kid cut his hair. I saw him.
Yeah, like kind of just straight. Yeah, that's what Stroll needs.
I think
Daddy to cut hair.
It was getting their hair dyed because it was good luck.
Albon.
Yeah, and he did. He did well too.
I think you're right, Dave. He's growing on me. I like Mr. Consistent. He's Mr. Midfield consistent. He doesn't do a lot, and he doesn't do like rubbish. He's just there to make the middle ground.
That's who Mercedes should be signing.
Well,
just average man.
They should be going for Albon.
Williams are actually bringing a bunch of upgrades to Silverstone, which because they haven't done any upgrades really, and they're supposed to bring massive. Yeah, supposedly they're bringing massive upgrades to Silverstone, so hopefully they might be a spot up.
So they overtake themselves.
Joe? What's going on with
Joe's not doing a bad. He's a bit up and down.
Yeah,
he's not doing too bad compared to Bottas.
Yeah,
I would have thought that would have been very one-sided.
Yeah. When do we reckon Mick Schumacher will actually get points? Do you reckon it will take longer than it took Russell, or
when he goes to Aston Martin next year?
Well, they want some broken cars, do they?
Stroll can get points there, so
Yeah.
So anyone can.
Stroll got podiums there.
he's had podiums with Williams as well.
Yeah.
He's had podiums with 2 teams.
Yeah. Well,
That's the same as Lewis Hamilton.
The commentators.
Lewis Hamilton has only had podiums with 2 teams.
Yeah, true.
Haven't Ricciardo had podiums with 3 teams now?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But that makes him better than Lewis
Therefore,
Hamilton.
Ricciardo's the best.
I mean, that's just logic.
Simple maths.
I don't see any comments doubting us, Dave. So I'm going to take that.
I will just get the calculator and do the maths.
3 is greater than 2. Well done, team. No need to thank us.
I have no idea who this.
Stroll's daughter is dating.
Yep.
I thought snowboarding was just something that you did to get injured. I didn't realize it was like an actual job or something.
It's something stoners do to pass the time and make money, Dave. Austin Martin should hire Daniel Craig. Yes. I'm surprised that Austin Martin
for driving or
no, just for James Bond.
Okay.
I think the start of a race, he should just drive a DB7 around a racetrack for no apparent reason other than he's James Bond. Well, not anymore.
Did anyone hear, apparently, because they're for some reason alternating between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin safety cars this year?
Yeah.
And I heard that they were complaining that the Aston Martin wasn't fast enough.
Yes.
So
I've actually heard that they're about the same speed, but where they were complaining, I think I can't. I'd have to try and find out, but there was a reason why it was going slower at the time. But supposedly they're
because Stroll was behind the wheel.
Yeah, Lawrence Stroll was behind the wheel. He didn't trust anyone to drive his precious car. Maybe they'll bring out the new Valkyrie or whatever it is, the new Aston Martin supercar.
That's a nice car.
Yeah, have that as the.
What's happened with that? Because that was the one that Adrian Newey and Red Bull did, wasn't it?
It's coming. I just
okay.
Yeah. Eventually. Yeah.
Another car I can't afford.
Yeah, well, they probably already sold out anyway. So.
And I was going to buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll try.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll keep my $4 million then.
Bring race cars always a sign of bad luck. But what about the Brabhams? Brabhams were green, weren't they?
So the Castrol cars. It's weird that now. What was that?
Speak up so the whole class can hear you, Rob.
No one cares about the.
Apparently, I care about it with the hat this week.
Yeah, advertising.
Did you find that in the bargain bin, Dave, or like it was just a? Yeah.
Are you just trying to promote petrol prices that they are affordable for most Australians?
Castrol don't
make petrol.
Yeah, they make oil. Don't you know anything? Come on.
And you call yourself a car guy. Jeez.
Even I cry at the petrol pump. And someone else pays for my petrol.
Same.
But I can't believe how bad it is. Like
Dave can't believe how bad it is for whoever pays for his petrol and goes, that's going to cost.
No, I don't know. And then I look at like the SUVs and stuff next to me that have got a fuel tank twice the size and half the fuel economy that I have.
Yeah, I filled up this morning. It cost me $120 for a Golf. My Nissan Pulsar I used to get change from $20 filling up my Nissan Pulsar.
Rob, do you use 95 or Ronnie 98 for the
98? 98. Oh, $2.34.
Yeah, I remember when I had the Golf, I got 98 for it, and now I have a Mazda, and I essentially fill up, and it costs me, I don't know, $4.50 because it runs on 91, and it has a 40-litre tank that lasts 700 kilometres.
Yeah. Just got to pull up with the Bowser and drop my DAX as they shove the nozzle in.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Actually, I managed to fill a full
and
tank
someone
of
paid for
petrol,
it for me.
and I bought 4 liters of milk for under $100.
Yeah.
And I donated $2 to charity because I'm awesome. Because the guy asked me to.
Well, when petrol's more expensive than Coke per liter, I'm going to be very disappointed.
So I think we've covered off everything this week.
We've hit our 1 hour limit.
Yeah.
And,
I think we've.
Hassan now good at qualifying. Latifi is amazing. Ocon, something. And scooters, scooter drive.
I think we're gonna have a special scooter episode in the summer break. I don't know if Dave's agreed to this, Rob, but you and I are gonna have a special scooter.
Yep, I'm in.
Scooter episode.
I think we should have a live commentary day next time. It's actually on live. We actually have a video going on with it where we commentate over the race.
I think that's a great idea because as you can see there, Rob, I've already got the title. It's called "Scoot to Survive" because I'm so clever at naming. and we're gonna.
Around my work, there's a bunch of hire scooters. I really want to go for them. Yeah, the Lime ones. And I was just like, I need to get some practice before we race.
Oh.
I'm in North Melbourne. I'm not far from the Port Melbourne go-kart track. I wonder if they'll let me on.
I think Ron has a legitimate question, Dave.
A genuine question.
A genuine F1 question.
I'm trying to think. It's a couple of weeks now.
Silverstone, 4th of July.
Let me just open my calendar.
Practice 1 is on in 8 days and 53 minutes.
So it is only one weekend off.
Yeah. But before that, we have IndyCar, Iowa.
No, Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio?
Yeah, Mid-Ohio is on a few hours after the British Grand Prix.
I thought, no, this weekend is Iowa. Lee, in chat, I can't highlight it because I forgot to sign in again.
Have they moved it?
Yeah, Penske this weekend.
Well, I could have missed that because I've got it down in my calendar as at another month away.
Let me have a look.
This is thrilling viewing.
Very.
No,
there is
July the 3rd, Mid-Ohio.
Oh.
Iowa's July 23, July 24.
Lee Dudley said that Penske 1, 2, 3 Indy practice in Iowa.
That was testing.
Oh.
They were testing this week.
Never mind. I'll carry on.
There we go.
Because Iowa's in July, the 24th.
Wait, Dave, you lost your voice?
Well, I didn't quite lose it, but I've still got this cough from because I did an hour and a half live stream by myself.
Have you
non-stop talking?
Wait,
and I still haven't quite recovered.
Dave, from carrying the live stream as well?
No, just my voice.
Well, I don't think I'll be traveling overseas anytime soon, so I'll be. I might be in the new studio later as well. AKA,
what happened to the new studio tonight?
Well, the new studio, aka the attic, is still being worked on. Though it currently does have a PlayStation 3 connected up to a projector, so I think maybe next week we could have some really cheap live streaming of a race car.
I actually earlier in this week I jumped in my sim rig and I was actually going to record a race so I could have it playing in the background behind me. I was driving the Mercedes F1 car around Canada.
Did you complain about your tires?
Were you porpoising?
I did porpoise. Actually, no, it's last year's car, so I was just dancing in the car myself, pretending I was a kid. Just, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Did you tell Toto you knew what you were doing and you're not going to?
Of course,
you're the boss here.
I'm the boss. I'm the captain now.
Look at me, I am the captain now.
But yeah, unfortunately, each race I did was just an absolute shit show. Like first corner,
that's all right.
Yeah, first corner.
I don't know what
in
you're
the air.
expecting from us, Rob. I mean,
You're not going to get encouragement around here.
yeah.
Where's Silverstone's next race? Oh God, I hate driving that track.
I used to love Silverstone until they did that new bit.
It has no elevation. It's just flat.
Old Silverstone was amazing.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll. Did I take out my piercings? Yes, I did.
to meet the FIA rules.
I took my one earring.
I took off both my watches, so I was allowed to drive.
Did you put a watch on your glove though? An oversized watch on your glove.
Oh, I've got to also wear a t-shirt about climate change because I'm going to be and wear underpants on the outside.
Yeah.
So I think next week I'll be playing GT6 in the background with Silverstone. I'll see if I can set that up.
Does this mean I have to be in the racing rig as well next week? Like racing as we chat?
I think, yeah, and then Dave and I can be proper backseat drivers, and we can ask you to, we can ask you to pull over for ice cream, and can we pick up that hitchhiker?
Yes. Actually, I might have the right game for this.
Destruction Derby?
No, it's a game called BeamNG.
Yes, that game's fantastic. I've seen that. That's the realistic one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you can break everything.
Yeah, so it's like full real physics, soft body damage and the works.
Dave, we wouldn't last because the first thing you would do is just crash it just to see how well it crashes.
If you're driving around and you accidentally hit a gutter too hard, your wheel will break. It's like full realistic.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got to work out how to have that as a window as well while we chat.
Just have the camera behind you or something.
Yeah, I'll work it out. I'll work something out.
I'm going to work out how to get a projector to work in a light room. This will work. This will not backfire at all.
No.
You've got a week to work on it.
Yeah.
It's not like you've got anything else to do.
That's true.
I should actually talk about since I'm live at Goodwood at the moment over in the UK.
How is Goodwood going?
Is that why you're black and white? Because it's just so cold and miserable over there.
I'm in England. I am currently in England in 1942. That's why it's black and white.
Oh yeah.
There is a car that's actually challenging this year to take the title as the fastest car up Goodwood. I believe it's the McGurty, which has an amazing name, and it looks like a little Batmobile. Suppose it goes 0 to 62 mile an hour, so just over 100k an hour in 1.2 seconds.
Oh,
which is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm keen to see some records be beaten this year by the electric things.
Did Gran Turismo have the festival speed in the there was a racing game that had it where you could do the.
I think it was Gran Turismo 6.
Yeah,
6 had it where you could do the.
Yeah, because that was super frustrating.
Yes,
I
wasn't very good at it at all. I can only imagine it.
You had to get it so perfect because it was so short.
Yeah.
I've got it on a Assetto Corsa, and it's just such a horrible track because you can't see half the corners, and there's no edges. It's just, you go a little bit too quick, you're off and you're dead.
This is why Forza Motorsport's great for someone like me. No realism whatsoever. You can drive full speed into a tree and it'll be like, oh, it's just a scratch. Carry on.
Yeah. Forza Horizon, you're talking about, or?
Forza Horizon and the Motorsport one.
Yeah.
I actually have the latest Forza Horizon I got last year around Christmas time, and it's still in its wrap plastic.
Yeah,
because I put it in a packing box and went, I will open this soon, and I still haven't. And it's now June. So what's this car called? The Goodwood car that you spoke of? That's
the McGurty.
Gertie.
Gertie.
Oh wow, that is a strange looking car, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a little Batmobile.
Do they? Are these the same rules as applies like Pikes Peak, where there are no rules and it's just build whatever you want?
There is different classes. So they'll have like this year. I think they got like the rally cars. The I can't remember which ones now. They'll have certain different cars going up, and they'll have their own race between them, and then there's the overall fastest as well. So this thing will be in the overall fastest racing.
Because Pikes Peak's coming up soon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's usually in summer over there.
That must be Pikes. Yeah, because I remember the last time I saw Pikes Peak was when they had the Golf. What was it? The IDR.
IDR, yeah. So that's currently the fastest car up Goodwood at the moment.
Oh, as well.
Yeah, and that was stupidly fast. Seeing that thing go.
Yeah, I remember seeing documentaries about it, and essentially they did like weird things where like to remove weight or something, they didn't paint certain areas or something, and the driver's some little test driver,
Roman Dumas.
Yeah, who weighs like 4 kilos or something, and he's like, I wear special shoes because they're made of carbon fiber. Because the higher up you go. Oh, this weekend.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dumas driving the Porsche thing, not the Volkswagen thing?
The 918 Tribute.
Yeah, I thought it was Dumas in the fact check.
He might actually.
Bobby will let us know. He's on this.
Hang on, we get there. Roman Dumas. He has the record for that. He pretty much owns the record for every track in the world now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you got no rules.
Yeah, but Roman Dumas just is the man. Like,
so Dave, what you're saying is maybe if Lewis Hamilton did all this, he'd win because there'd be nothing to complain about.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have any competition, so he'd be happy.
But do you think he has the power just to go to McLaren and say, look, I want a stupid Mercedes. I want a stupid car that drives up a mountain super quick. And there's you don't have to follow these pesky FIA rules or anything. You just
might go against his whole ethical green.
No, make it an electronic car, Dave.
Oh, okay.
Like
you charge off a generator.
No. You charge off goats on a treadmill, and it keeps going. And then they've got solar panels. So you got goats and solar panels.
Perfect.
And then he just races it up the. Mind you, to build a car would cost millions of dollars, and the carbon footprint would be huge. But you don't care about that. That's not Lewis's department. He's driving it. That's where he. Yeah.
So the Roman Dumas has the Pikes Peak record. He has the Nürburgring record and Goodwood record.
So he drove the Volkswagen IDR thing as well.
Yeah, well, he did all them in the IDR in the Volkswagen.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know who drove the Porsche thing.
I thought it was him as well. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once before.
Also, Rob, I'm disappointed you didn't point out the only Australian that's entering Pikes Peak, Jeff, in his 2005 Mitsubishi Evo.
Nice.
Which just sounds like he's pulled up on the day and went, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, how many subs has he got in the back of the car?
He's got at least, you got to have what, two at least?
2 12s?
On either side. 2 12s on either side, and then the amp in the middle, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Timo Bernhard driving the 919 hybrid Evo.
I heard Millum.
Pike Peak.
Who?
Ken Block, yeah. He's racing. Because he's taking his new Porsche up. His new
Is that the Huna Plaga?
Pig.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Huna thing. Oh yeah, it's a pink.
And I thought Millen. What was his name? Not Reese. His old
Rod
man.
Millen.
I thought Rod Millen was going up again as well. The conspiracy nut he became during lockdowns.
Conspiracy nut.
Oh yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I love a good conspiracy nutcase.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
God, I hate it when customers or someone starts going on about conspiracies.
you know what, John, because they have their Leadfoot Festival over in New Zealand, which is similar to Goodwood. He built a long driveway that people race along, which actually looks pretty fun. I really wanted to go to it.
Is that
But
Australia's summer nats our equivalent then?
Unfortunately,
It's the closest we've got.
no.
And they say Australia has no culture.
Yeah. Is there a way we can race up Bathurst, like up the
Yes.
up the back way, like up the reverse, up the hill?
Yeah, they do hill climbs there.
Yeah, we need to turn that into a festival with people with tweed hats and
I think
jackets with elbow patches.
that's what
and-
the TCR Bathurst thing was going to be last year.
Yeah.
But then it got the ass because supercars needed the date.
Yeah, we need it. Give us
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
We
well,
have-
the more
we have
important category got the date.
we have 2 cars and only one manufacturer.
That's fine.
It's like if I close my eyes, it's like Toto's talking to me.
They're all Fords, really.
You're just trying to anger all of Dave's audience tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ford and Holden, they're practically the same.
Yeah, well, there's no Holden, so it's just Ford and the other car.
that American company.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
the Vauxhall Opel.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, the Opel. What was it?
Okay,
Opel something. Anyway,
Insignia or something.
No. It was I can't remember. I send photos to one of my friends, a lot of them. I should remember. He gets very angry at me sending him photos of Commodores with Opel badges on them.
That was the
You didn't
English.
see much of that though, with the ZB. Like with the VEs and that, you saw a lot of Chev badges on them.
Yeah,
You didn't see a lot of people putting Opel badges on ZBs.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone put. Did anyone put Opel badges on anything? I thought even Opel drivers removed them and put something else on.
You could
Yeah,
actually
you-
buy Opels here for about 3 months.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And then
they
they realised-
opened up a few dealerships. Was it the GFC hit?
Yeah, and then they sold them off real cheap. Like you could buy brand new cars for like 20
Dave, I
grand
think
less.
they gave them away on the Price is Right to go along with Rob's.
Say it.
what's his- Say it.
Could.
You got a choice between the Opel and the Say It, and both answers were wrong.
There we go. Opel Amiga. Opel Amiga was the car.
Oh yeah, that's what the
Amiga.
Commodore
Yeah,
was
yeah.
based off in the first place.
The
yeah,
Amiga,
and it still was in the like the V. I don't know what Commodore was, but it looks like a VR kind of thing.
And you call yourself Australian.
Kick him out.
I never was part of the whole Holden Ford thing. It was like Japanese cars, and then I bought
Say it.
I bought European cars.
Go
And it's like,
say it.
yeah,
There was
Yeah.
the Say It, and then Daylight, and then there was Ford and Holden.
it was like I'm just angry about the whole situation. The whole luxury car tax that we have to support Australian car manufacturing, even though we don't manufacture cars here, but we still have to pay freaking tax.
They make too much money off it though.
I know.
Yep.
I know. And yeah. Anyway,
You've got to make the money back somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have Australian manufacturing. Get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
We'll bring back Australian manufacturing. We can build Teslas here because we need shitty built cars again.
Not a fan of Teslas, I take it, Rob.
No, I think they have a time and a place, but I just think their build quality is about on par as a VE Commodore.
The time is not now, and the place is not Australia.
The M Commodore.
Yeah, what's wrong with the VE Commodore?
VN was a great car. I sat in one of them all the way from here to Canberra.
That didn't break down.
No, it
Wow,
and
all right.
I think I can safely say that it does do about 160 in a straight line.
Nice.
Floating.
It did had the what we call now porpoising, but does right-hand drive conversion count as manufacturing? Do they do right-hand conversions here? I thought they did them and then brought them over.
Yeah. No, like Walkinshaw does a lot
Walkinshaw
of
do it,
like
don't they?
those
Yeah.
Ram trucks and things like that.
Trucks.
So
Yeah, let's all get a truck.
Yeah.
there is
Tradie trucks are just SUVs for men.
No, Rob, I want someone to get like, what's the biggest? Is it F250 that's the biggest we've got here?
No, they're bringing in the F100, F150s soon, I believe. I think you can privately get the F250s. And I did go to a shopping centre out in the western suburbs, and some dude brought his F350 and couldn't actually park it in the car park. I pretty much had to park it near the front door that took up the whole fucking road. The thing was just so big. It was stupid.
I've had to help a friend with a four-wheel drive that did not fit underground.
650, sorry. Yeah.
And we had to lift up the little metal height measurer thing. And the security guard came up to us and said, "How'd you get the car here in the first place?" And we said, "We went to another entrance," and then he left us alone.
F650. That's what I saw.
650.
The 650 is like almost looks like a
train.
Yeah, the thing's a monster of a car. Well, it's not even a car; it's a truck.
Is it true some of them don't actually fit on? Is it Australian roads or car parks or something where you just can't?
Yeah,
they'd be too big for the car parks. You'd struggle on a lot of roads.
The Ford Ranger, like the full top spec Ford Ranger, barely fits on Australian roads. The thing's so big.
What, wide or height?
Wide and
Wide.
Wide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
It was
massive
funny
and long,
in
length.
car parks how far they stick out of car parks.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I saw one yesterday. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it stuck out. Probably the wheel was kind of over the painted bit, so you had about it.
I just don't get why you'd want one of them in a city.
Because you're very scared of your
You are awesome.
Yeah, because you're awesome, and you know it. And then, anyone else in your way, you'll just. But
then you get guys who buy these things who are tradies. They can't put their tools in the back because they don't want to damage it. Plus, they don't have any room, so then they buy a trailer to carry their tools in. So now they need to
buy Kenworth.
Yeah, I'm like, just buy a bloody one of those little Volkswagen van things, like the vans based on a Golf, and then buy a second car for weekends. Buy a van. Vans are the best things you can use as a.
Nah, you can't buy vans right now, Rob, because everyone during pandemic wanted to do van life, and so every van that was like $2,000 is now $15,000 because some idiot on Instagram made a video about, I live in my van. I'm like, why? You've got a house. No, van life, bro.
Van life. I'm gonna do van life soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna like a Renault Espace with the F1 engine in it, or the Transit Super Van with a Cosworth.
What was the Renault van, Space?
The Espace.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
sick. Well, that's F1 cars. F1 companies need to do vans again as demo cars, just like the Super Van
stuff.
Because they got people wanting to buy vans. Like we need to get people to stop buying mini trucks.
I think the problem was people go to the Renault dealer then and go, "How come my Espace doesn't go like the one that Damon Hill drove?"
Yeah.
couple of reasons. You're not Damon Hill.
Yeah.
That should be enough.
Yeah. Your head's not unproportioned to your body.
Speak for yourself.
You're not a bobblehead.
How big are the Rams? Because I know they're also not a small. They're not a subtle car.
No.
You can't sneak up on people with them.
There's a guy around the corner from me that has a Chevrolet Silverado, which is, I guess, similar to the Ram. It's just He's also got like 24-inch rims with off-road tires. They look like off-road tires. They got like
Are you
threads
friends
on.
with this man, Rob? Because he sounds like the coolest man on earth.
He is. He
Yep.
is.
Like,
Oh, has Graham got a 86?
He's going to
Graham
get
is a-
one.
Graham is a man of exquisite taste and class.
Graham, you're my new friend, Graham.
Graham's everyone's best friend.
As someone who owned a BRZ and was a vice president of the Victorian 86 and BRZ club.
Oh,
Is that something to brag about?
Yeah.
Yes,
I was the assistant to the regional manager of the Hyundai Excel fan club. I'd like to just put that out there, please.
What's wrong with Hyundai Excels were cool cars back in the day.
Oh, it was a good car until it died.
Do we need to remove him again, Matt?
I think we need to get
Time out for Rob.
into the sin bin. 5 meters long for the Ram.
So I think the normal garage is what, 3 meters by 6 meters.
Yes.
So that would only just fit.
You would have nothing else.
You'd
this when you
basically
were cool,
have
Rob?
to.
Huh?
This back when you were cool, driving around in your
In my
BRZ.
BRZ. That little smoke going there.
Sideways flat peak cap.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob.
Hey, boy. How you doing? I'm still relevant.
What's going on, my fellow car drivers?
Hey, kids.
So I take it no one's getting a super ute anytime soon then.
Well,
Not with petrol prices at $2 a litre, and it
hey,
costs.
why about these super utes though? They got like cool V8s and stuff.
But it will cost you like $400 just to drive to the petrol station.
Yeah, that's all right. Work pays for
So your next company car.
Until they
when our-
don't.
Yeah.
Well, the car in the background there was actually my old work car.
You were taking the work
Convenient.
car to a drift track.
Yeah,
Is that a drift track or McDonald's car park?
closer to a McDonald's car park. It was a skid pan.
You got the McDonald's trays on the what is it? Front wheels? Is it front wheel
Yeah.
car or?
No, rear wheel drive. What?
So you put some McDonald's trays on the back.
Yeah.
And then did some.
You can't see my mates pushing me around. Just slide it.
I like, and you brought your own witches hats too. That's Oh,
This was actually 4 years ago today. Anyway, have we lost all the viewers yet? Have we got rid of everyone?
No, there's still some people watching.
Wow.
I mean, I switched off about 10 minutes ago. So.
don't worry, Rob. You and Rob, I'm living off every word you say about your little car club.
It was I quit. I hate car clubs. I hate cars. I love cars.
They're just too much effort.
Yeah. I'm too old. You're my height. How hard is it changing a tire when you're this tall? Those tires are really far down.
Rob, I did it a couple of months ago and did my back because I hadn't changed the car on the Mazda before, and I've forgotten that it was an 18-inch tire and a lot heavier than my old Golf tires.
Yeah.
And I just arrogantly went, I'll just pick this up and, chuck it over here. And then it turns out that no one has 18-inch wheels at tire shops. And I had to do like a ring around.
Really?
Because, they're not a common... The size of the Mazda CX-3 is not a common size at this moment. Whereas the Golf, I would just drive in and like, can I have 4 tires? And they're like, yeah, sure. I don't know, $80 for the lot, and I'll give you a coffee.
Yeah, I got a price for the tires for my Golf, which is the exact same as my BRZ, but 19-inch instead of 18-inch, and it's like $1,000 more.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like
$1,000 for the whole kit, fitted and balanced.
For 4 tires. Yeah, fitted and balanced. It used to cost me about $900 for the BRZ, and it's like 1,800, 1,900 for the Golf.
I miss my Ford
And
Meteor.
I've done 18,000 Ks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that because of how you drive it, or is that because?
I mean, we've seen the video, Dave. You can see
100%.
the video in the background. He's
Yeah.
Tokyo drifting it for
Yeah.
over and over again.
Michelin Pilot Sport 5s now. They were 4s on the car. All 3s on the back. Because I used to buy new tires every year, and the old tires I used to use doing this stuff.
Yep.
But it's on the lease, so.
Oh, that's all right then. If it's not,
yeah. But still, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was surprised the BMW, the Bridgestones on the BMW were relatively cheap.
Okay.
From what I was expecting, because I know that like the Bridgestones on the Commodore and that were, and on my Mazda previously were, astronomical. But I only had to replace one.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I only need to replace these once, and because it's 2 years old now, or 2.5 years now, and it's on for a 4-year lease, so that'll last me. And then
anyway,
all right. Anyway,
after those words of tire wisdom,
yeah.
Good night, everyone.
if anyone's still awake after our relaxing chat about
tires, we'll have another
Saudi Golf R. Oh, nice.
Well,
so everyone in Graham's family just has a good car, from what?
I have a Golf R now, and he wants the 86.
Next thing they'll be buying a Say It.
Yeah.
Hey, the special level of coolness, Let me.
We're going.
Oh no! Hat down! Hat down!
I don't like doing that because I can't put my head back in the chair.
There we go. I can probably get a bit of hair through. Yeah, we go.
There we go. Hang on.
We're getting. You look like the lead singer of like a new metal band, Rob. You're about to tell us that life has no meaning and it's pointless.
Hang on a second.
Oh God, it's getting worse. Do we just call it a night before he gets back?
What are you doing?
Rob, play some classical gas.
No one can play classical gas.
Or what is it? Deep Purple. Everyone has to know how to play Deep Purple if you own a guitar.
The Stairway. It's not even in tune, this thing.
Yeah, it's the tune that's the problem.
All right, Mr. Hamilton. It's always the tool's fault, not yours.
Well, I also can't play, but it's not in tune.
And on that note,
yep.
Good night, everyone.
Dave's kicking us all out. See you all.
I'm ready for bed. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
See ya.